we're going to work with any and every administration relative to providing appropriate health care for not only our employees, but for the people in the communities around America.
That was Walgreens Executive Chairman James Skinner responding to a question from our next guest. The question concerning how the company plans to work with the Trump administration as ObamaCare is repealed and replaced based on its relationship heretofore with the Obama administration. Joining me now to discuss this, the director of the Free Enterprise Project with the National Center for Public Policy Research, Justin Danhof. Justin, tell us a little bit about your project and exactly what was going on at that Walgreens shareholder meeting.
Yeah, first of all, thanks so much for having me on today, JD. What I do is at the Free Enterprise Project, which is a great program at the National Center for Public Policy Research, is when you look at the landscape of corporate America, what we often see is large corporations teaming up with the federal government and kind of forming this very big symbiotic relationship. And in this circle, what's missing? And what's missing is very often the voice of the American people. The American people get crowded out. Their voice isn't heard. When you have the most powerful government in the history of the world teaming up with large corporations, they're setting the rules. And so what we do is we go in and we try and break that symbiotic wedge and be a voice for the American people, a voice for liberty, a voice for the Constitution, a voice for freedom. And so there's no greater example of the power of big corporations and the federal government to team up and crowd out the American people than is with Obamacare, right? The pharmaceutical industry, the health insurance companies, they weren't on the opposite side of Obamacare. They were actually help crafting Obamacare. And again, who got the taxpayer bailouts in Obamacare? The large health insurers. Who got exemptions from the Obamacare mandates? It wasn't the American people. It was politically connected corporations and unions that got all of the waivers from the certain Obamacare mandates. Again, the American people's voice wasn't being heard. And so during the Obama administration, we tried to hold the feet to the fire of the corporations that promoted and supported Obamacare. And one of those corporations was, in fact, Walgreens. Walgreens promoted Obamacare to customers, while at the same time its own employees were dropped from their private health care plans because of some of the high compliance costs related to Obamacare. And so what I wanted to do at the Walgreens shareholder meeting yesterday was ask a very simple question. Obamacare is going to be repealed and replaced. You supported that law. As a company, you promoted that law. A lot of the harm that befell the millions of Americans that if they liked their doctor, couldn't keep their doctor. If they liked their health plan, they couldn't keep their health plan. President Obama and his team deserve plenty of the blame, but they're gone now. These corporations are still here. So I wanted to hear from them whether, basically on behalf of the American people, right, whether they were going to, I guess, reform their ways, seek forgiveness from the American people in a sense, right, and work with the Trump administration on repealing and replacing Obamacare, because we need a patient-centric approach to health care.
And with only about 30 seconds left, Justin, we heard the executive chairman, Mr. Skinner, offer that boilerplate that, oh, we're going to work with every administration. While I don't doubt that veracity in terms of the power structure and the way things worked, how do you think shareholders and others reacted to his statement? Closing word, 20 seconds to you, Justin.
It was relatively positive, but we're going to follow up, right? He wasn't specific, and we need specifics. President Trump and his team want to move fast on repeal and replace of Obamacare. We've got the political will in D.C. that we haven't had in a very long time for reform that can actually help the American people. And corporations that teamed up to support Obamacare, they now need to get in on the fix of the problem that they helped create.
Justin Danhof, I'm tempted to say a genuine JD as I look at your initials, sir. I thank you very much for your time, and we'll have you on in the days ahead as you hold those corporations accountable. That will do it for news.